Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence.
This is Autoline Daily for December 16, 2010, and now the news. Yesterday, we talked about how the price of rubber is climbing, but it is not the only raw material that's going up. Now, Bloomberg reports aluminum prices are expected to jump 29%, and there could be a shortage of aluminum by 2012. Copper prices are up 22% this year and set a record earlier this week. And as you well know, with the prices of raw materials going up, it is only a matter of time before the car companies will have to raise the prices of their cars. But wait, it gets worse. A study by the Center for Automotive Research in the U.S. says that if the Obama administration pushes fuel economy regulations to 60 miles per gallon by 2025, it is going to add $6,400 to the price of the average car. The study says that will force most Americans to hold on to their old cars longer, which could cost 220,000 jobs at the car companies and up to 1.3 million jobs if you include supplier companies. Reuters reports the lower sales would cost the industry $62 billion in sales. And it could be a lot more difficult for automakers to sell green cars in the American market. The Detroit News reports that yesterday the Senate dropped a provision to provide $4,000 in tax credits to people who buy hybrids, clean diesels, and vehicles powered by natural gas. And this makes me wonder if the $7,500 tax credit for electric cars will be dropped when it comes up for renewal. That silver-tongued Heinrich Fisker is at it again. According to Wards, his company has signed a deal with the China Grand Automotive Group to sell its Karma EV in the country starting next fall. The automaker says it already has 3,000 orders for its luxury electric car, and globally it expects to sell 15,000 of them a year. That might be a tough goal, though, given the Karma's nearly $90,000 price tag. Everyone knows the Chevy Volt is a green car, but GM is taking it one step further. The company announced it's recycling those oil-soaked plastic booms to make parts for the Volt. Those booms were used to help clean up the mess BP made down in the Gulf of Mexico this summer. GM estimates it can prevent more than 100 miles of this stuff from ending up in landfills, instead turning it into underbody panels for the Volt. The project is expected to produce enough components to supply the vehicle's first production run. Okay, so you just picked up your brand new car from the dealer. All the paperwork signed, the insurance is taken care of, and you are ready to hit the road. You slide into the driver's seat and relax for a moment, taking in a lungful of that delicious new car smell. Other than probably being really bad for you, what's the worst that could happen? Well, according to one accident reconstructionist, it could knock you unconscious. The Vail Daily reports that a Colorado man was driving his 2010 Mercedes sedan when he rear-ended a bicyclist. Overlooking simpler and more obvious explanations, the forensic investigator found that the vehicle was emitting, and I quote, new car fumes, which could, and I quote again, potentially alter the driver. You know, I will never cease to be amazed at how people can come up with the most incredible excuses to blame somebody else for the problems that they caused. Turns out the driver had a sleep disorder, so it's a lot more likely he just dozed off behind the wheel. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at some of the things that are on your minds.
Introducing Bridgestone's third generation of run-flat tires with groundbreaking new Bridgestone technologies. Bridgestone run-flat tires offer improved ride comfort, lower rolling resistance, and improved wear while giving you the peace of mind and comfort you need.
And now it's time for You Said It. Tony Gray was wondering what happened with this part of the show and why it did not run earlier in the week. He says, hey, no You Said It segment this week? What are we? Chopped liver? Tony, chill out, Doc. Chill. Pedro Fernandez saw our report on the new BMW M1, including a shot under the hood, and was shocked at how tightly it's packaged in there. He writes, I hope BMW plans to hire some techs with tiny hands and skinny arms to be able to work on that M1 engine compartment. Holy tiny crevices, Batman! And 602 Goliath was not impressed with the acceleration in the new Lexus CT200 Hybrid, and he also has an idea of what the GM Performance Parts Division should do with its monster small block V8. He writes, LMAO, 0 to 60 in 10 seconds? No thanks. And he also writes they should find out a way to make the LSX 454R get 40 mpg. LMAO? Laugh my... Just 1303 asks a question that a lot of people are asking. He writes, John, have you driven a Jeep Grand Cherokee with the 3.6-liter V6 yet? Or any vehicle? How does it perform? They say it's 290 horsepower, but what is it really to the wheels? On the Grand Cherokee, what's the power-to-weight ratio? I am looking at the new Jeep Grand Cherokee and looking at the Hemi, but just thought maybe you got some more information. Well, Josh, 1303, I have not driven a Grand Cherokee with the 3.6, but my colleagues who have are really impressed with it. In fact, we have an Autoline Detroit coming up in a couple of weeks about the North American Truck of the Year award, because the GC is up for that award. Anyway, one of my colleagues on the jury said there were times when he was test driving it that he wasn't sure if he was driving one with the Pentastar V6 or with the Hemi. That is how good the new V6 is. Hey, don't forget to tune into Autoline After Hours tonight, live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, for the best insider discussion of what's going on in the automotive industry. Join me and that bodacious auto extremist, Peter DeLorenzo. Also joining us tonight, Jason Vines and Kamatni Rollins from Automotive Rhythms. Now this is going to be a good show, live tonight on Autoline After Hours. And that brings us to the end of today's report on the top news in the global automotive industry. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.